Welcome to Blockchain in the Metaverse. I'm your host, futurist Amelia Kallman. Today, I am at Token 2049 in London, where leaders in the crypto industry from around the world get together to talk about the future of Web3 and blockchain. Today, I am joined by John Burris, President of MetaJuice, a company building blockchain-driven assets that support the future of the metaverse so that everyone can earn, create, and own and shape the future. So, John, I'm thrilled to be here live in person with you.
Yeah, so nice.
Great to see you and welcome to London.
Thank you.
So, I know that there is such a huge buzz right now about VCORE, and there's lots in the news at the moment. So, wondering if we can dive right in and you can share with us a bit about what's going on with the pre-sale, explain VCORE for anyone who maybe isn't already familiar,
Sure.
and also where it's going.
For sure. Thank you. No, great meeting question. So VCORE is a new utility token. We call it really a meta token, a token that is designed for the metaverse. It's got a few key use cases that are a part of the VCORE kind of opportunity. One is that it'll be a key part of the economy of the metaverse. It'll be a way that creators and earners on our platforms will be able to earn, we'll be able to pay each other, we'll be able to mint and purchase NFTs with VCORE. So really a key part of the very vibrant and quickly growing economy of the metaverse. It'll also be, VCORE will be a key part of the engagement model of the metaverse or the social play that happens within our metaverse. So users that are active daily users, high users will earn VCORE and have ways to engage with VCORE. Users that spend on the platform that are active users will be earning VCORE. And so we really plan to integrate VCORE into the user experience, the community experience as well. And then finally, VCORE will be a key component of the future governance of the metaverse. Holders of VCORE will be able to vote on the future of not only the gameplay or the rules that govern the metaverse, but they'll also have a voice in how the economy of the metaverse is shaped long term. So really, as we think about VCORE's value, and you can tell it's a very kind of multi-purpose token, really important utility token for the metaverse, it'll be around those three pillars of economy, engagement, and governance that VCORE will find its footing in the metaverse. So I appreciate you asking about the pre-sale buyers and our final pre-sale. That went very well. We now have a really broad set of, I would say, very strategic partners that are part of the VCORE ecosystem. And I'll name just a few. One is Animoca Brands. Animoca is a huge player, as you know, in the metaverse, gaming, Web3 spaces.
I just saw them on a panel. That was great. Yeah.
Yes. No, they're super active, right? They're involved in 100 plus Web3 projects. They've been a leader in helping kind of design the future of the metaverse and gaming platform. They're one of the founding creators of the Open Metaverse Alliance. We think is super important. So Animoca Brands was active and a part of our last pre-sale.
Wow.
And a part of the reason, yes, we're super happy
That's
about
huge.
that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And then we're happy to share that Rock Ventures was actually active in both of our pre-sales. They're the largest game-centric venture fund in the world. They're a traditional games venture investor who over the last few years has been very active and has become very smart in the Web3 space. And so we're super happy that they were a part of both of these plays, both of the last pre-sales. And then we've got some of our partners, some of our kind of technology platform partners. One is Immutable. Immutable, one of the kind of high quality layer 2 solutions for NFTs. That's our partner. And they were involved in the last pre-sale too. So I'm probably remiss in not naming all of the participants in that pre-sale, but suffice to say, we feel great about this ecosystem we've brought together of very strategic partners and players that will help us, because we're very open to it, help us kind of shape the strategy around VCORE.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's really great. And I'd love to hear about these partnerships because ultimately I think it gives an advantage to everyone when people are starting to work together. And that's part of the beauty of Web3.
It is.
What are some of the advantages that these partnerships can help unlock?
Yeah, no, it's a great point. And I think you're hitting on a key component of part part of the ethos of Web3, right? Is partnerships, is community. And we believe in that too, as do these strategic partners of ours. The first thing is, insofar as it's helpful, is access, right? So we believe the future metaverse is one that's interoperable, where users of the IMVU Web3 experience interact with other users in the sandbox experience, or maybe Decentraland experience, or other traditional experiences that move into the Web3 space. And so having strategic partners that are investors or players or on the boards of these various entities, that helps a lot, right? As far as opening doors and smoothing the way to make interoperability something that's real. I think they also are, because of the number of companies that they're a part of, these strategic players, their advice on who we should partner with or who we might want to engage with can be super helpful. And so that can help accelerate some of these activities that are important to us in the future of the metaverse. And then finally, I think because we're trying to all shape the future, the more we work together, and I mentioned briefly the Open Metaverse Alliance, the way the industry works together, I think will also accelerate the future coming sooner. That's a way to say that. And so we feel like we're aligned with all the right players, and along with them, and of course, the hard work that our teams will do and our community will do, we think we're well positioned to help kind of lead the way into this new metaverse.
And just to clarify, when we talk about an open metaverse, are we talking about interoperability? Are those equivalent, or is there a difference between them?
Yeah, I think yes, we are talking about interoperability where, an avatar that you've maybe designed it into could walk into a different metaverse, right? Or an NFT, a digital item, a shirt that you've purchased at IMVU could be taken into another metaverse, or vice versa. I think the interoperability between metaverses is one part of it. We also think that in this open metaverse, ownership, enabled by NFTs is a key component of that, where items that you've owned, assets that you've accumulated, even status that you've earned or purchased over time, that could also be taken into other environments. So this open metaverse does include both interoperability, ownership, really the power to earn on multiple platforms. The assets that you've accumulated have value, ideally, in other broader parts of the metaverse that you spend time in. So there's several components, but really that interoperability is a key part.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I did a panel last night, and there was this debate whether there's one big metaverse that, doesn't exist yet, but is coming, or if there's lots of different metaverses that already exist today. And for me, I think this idea that we can have interoperability with our tokens, with our avatars, with our NFTs is crucial to that future. And I think that it's absolutely going to come first. And whether that eventual one thing ever comes,
Yeah.
I think that's up for debate.
Yeah.
But I think with that interoperability, we are unlocking the key. And at the center of that is Web3 and blockchain. So that's what you guys do. So
Yes.
I think that's amazing.
I believe too with what you're talking about, where I think this interoperability, this future singularity, this future metaverse-ish, probably made up of various environments, it kind of comes together or starts to feel more and more like one when you have that interoperability, when you have that ownership that transfers with you as you move between environments. And sometimes the industry can get a little caught up in whether you want to call the full thing a metaverse and you want to call something like IMVU a virtual world, or you want to call it a metaverse. And there's, either way, it's the same outcome, right? There's these different environments. We believe will want to spend time in various environments based on what they want to do.
Yeah.
We're real close right now to the O2 Arena. It's called here in London. And I'm sure you go to that venue for certain events, and you might go to a different venue for other types of events or interactions. So we think that's maybe similar in this new future.
Absolutely. And I wanted to dig in a bit more about NFTs, because you just introduced NFTs onto the IMVU platform.
Yeah.
And I hear that they have done quite well. So can you
They really have.
how that's going?
They really have. I'll share just a little bit of history, right? And kind of the realities around our very vibrant metaverse. Inside the IMVU metaverse today, our users, our community, they sell millions of digital items every month to each other, right? These are outfits, clothes, avatar shapes, furniture for your metaverse rooms or environments. So there's a history of 10 plus years of virtual goods being sold. What's new is that for the first time, we're leveraging non-fungible token NFT technology to enable true ownership. So users that are purchasing those digital items will now have true ownership over them. And for the first time, we'll be able to resell them to other users on the platform. They'll be able to gift them to other users. And as we mentioned around interoperability, they'll be able to hopefully take them off platform and use them in other environments as well. And what we've done is, we've been selling some, we've done some drops of NFTs over the last year. What's new is we've deeply integrated the immutable layer 2 NFT solution into our metaverse, actually right into our marketplace.
What does that mean?
So it means that all of our users, whether they're on, iOS or Apple devices or Android devices or the web or desktop, can purchase digital items, and in this case, purchase NFTs, just like they purchase every other item in the platform. So they don't have to understand how to go to a separate marketplace or use a third-party crypto wallet or, use a passphrases. They can just click and purchase an NFT right in the applications, just like they purchase items in the past. That's how we think you're going to get broad adoption, right? That's how this space moves from thousands of users to millions of users who are purchasing, using, engaging with NFTs. And to your point, you've seen great success. So we launched.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, no, I would love to. So the first cool thing is we're one of the few applications in the iOS, the Apple App Store, that actually sells NFTs natively right in the app. And so when we launched our NFT integrated experience in our mobile apps, they sold out in seconds. We started slow. We didn't want to sell thousands of items quite yet, but they went very well. Same thing happened on Android. Just a week ago, we launched on our desktop application, same thing. So our user base is engaging really well with these NFTs. And what we're seeing too is, and this is a little bit unexpected, is users are already starting to kind of engage in the secondary market around these NFTs and reselling them. Some of them for, more than in the past, which isn't necessarily has to be part of the model. We think there's value in true ownership and the ability to resell even at a flat price point. But it's been really energizing for the IMVU community to see what this new technology will enable. So we're excited about it.
Yeah. And one of the things that I am really impressed with the IMVU take on NFTs is that they're selling them at a very affordable rate. This is something that isn't exclusive or elitist to people. It's a great price that people could jump into. So this morning in one of the panels, it was talked about how the fashion industry is really embracing NFTs. I'm wondering if this is something that you're also seeing on IMVU.
Yeah, you know what? We are seeing this. Progressive, I'll say real world fashion brands and designers are very interested, are curious, and are getting involved in the virtual world, the metaverse. And of course, I think what's pulling them in is NFTs, is this idea that not only can they kind of bring their unique designs and their creativity into this virtual space, but because of the properties of NFTs, there can be true ownership around these items. They can track ownership of these items. They can earn not only on the first time an item is sold, but potentially every time that item changes hands in the secondary market, they can also earn. And for a designer who cares a lot about their brand or their creations, I think that's a real enabling type of technology. I'd also share that because we have over 200,000 active creators and earners or inside the IMVU metaverse today. They're also very excited about this. And some of those creators are known brands inside the metaverse. They may not be, for sale in the real world here in London or in New York City, but in our metaverse, in the metaverse, they're very well known folks. And the idea that they, for the first time, can create items that are exclusive, or items that are limited runs. Maybe they'll sell only 1,000 of that new jacket they just created. That's super exciting. So it's pretty neat to see both the real world creators, designers get excited about NFTs in the metaverse, as well as our existing creator base also be excited.
Yeah. I think that is something that makes me really interested. This idea that we can breed more quality so people can go into these spaces with nothing, paying nothing, and they can create content, they can create products, and they can create services from scratch out of nothing and create an entire industry and enterprise around themselves. And so you're seeing this amazing entrepreneur story that is happening. And I think IMVU is really at the core of it. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, no, it's really a key part, has been a key part of the IMVU ecosystem from its start. Um, as I mentioned, these creators and artists on our platform, some of them, this is their full-time job, and they've been able to quit other, real world jobs, if you want to say it like that, and create or become entrepreneurs in the metaverse, and build out not only kind of awesome experiences or virtual goods, or in some cases run, virtual nightclubs in the metaverse. Um, uh, but earn from doing that. And then others, and to your point, you don't have to be an expert developer in order to create virtual goods in the metaverse. In our environment, you can pull a cool shirt out of the marketplace, add your own design to it, and put it back into the marketplace. Everybody that helped create that item gets their share of the earnings, but so do you on the incremental value that you just created. So it does kind of open up this opportunity for just about every user on the platform if they want to engage and earn. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So one of the hot topics that I heard discussed this morning at Token 2049 is this idea about traditional financial industries recognizing crypto and how that would really change things if I could take out loans or things against my crypto. Do you see that for the future?
I think we will. I think we will. It's already happening. Like I think one of the first kind of industries that crypto assets has disrupted is that traditional finance category, right? And change the way, yeah, over time, more and more change the way that companies pay each other. Individuals might pay each other and give up. To your point, there's lots of ways to earn um, interest or sometimes rewards from the activities you might engage with around your crypto assets. And I think we'll see that evolve as well in the metaverse. People talk a lot about, it might be a touch early for it, but we see it coming, that people talk about, renting, land on the platform for earning, or people being able to own pieces of an asset. So fractionalized ownership, virtual land or virtual items is something we see coming. We see people being able to loan out items that they've earned, or if I own a really valuable NFT, a digital item, I could loan that to somebody else, uh, and they are paying me for to kind of rent it for say a week. Uh, so I think all those kind of real world mechanics will find their way into the metaverse, and really enabled by crypto assets.
Well, that kind of leads me into my next question. One of the things that was talked about earlier is this idea that there's kind of a Western narrative going on around NFTs and crypto, and then there's kind of a different Eastern narrative around gaming. And I know that when it comes to things like regulation, it's different in different territories. So, and that impacts things like VCORE. So,
Sure.
wondering if you could talk a bit about that.